Today I will show you a deck which is very close to something that I played back in the Onslaught Block days. It's a deck with incredible synergy, a lot of powerful combinations, and of course it's all about the number of elves that you control and the cool tricks that you can do with this deck. So as for the mana base, it's nothing impressive at all. We have got a lot of forests, 18, if I recall correctly. Then we have got these awesome lands, okay, Wirewood Lodge. These are the lands from the Onslaught cycle, and these lands could allow you to do something to a specific creature type. So for example, Goblin Burrows pumped your target goblin, and could also give you one colorless mana. So untapping target elf for 1 green mana is incredible if we look at the abilities that they all have. And the first elves I would like to talk about here, kind of mana dorks, but not really, because it's much more than that, is Quirion Ranger. So for tapping 2 untapped elves you control, you can get 1 mana of any color specifically, so it's not just green mana that you can get, even though this deck is 100% green. And what's important is that this ability can let you tap these elves when they come into play. So cards that come into play, even when they have summoning sickness, can be tapped by this ability. That's quite important. Also, they have morph to boot, but yeah, we will see how exactly it functions and what cool things there actually are. Next, we have got the Ranger, and Ranger, you know, it's amazing because there are a couple of these cards that actually say do one good thing at the cost of doing another good thing, and this is incredible to me. So this one says return a forest you control to owner's hand, untap target creature. Use this ability only once each turn. Of course, it can mean your turn and your opponent's turn as well, so we can do it basically twice until we untap next time. And what it does essentially is that you can untap an elf to do a lot of good stuff that we will look at in a second, just for returning a forest you control. And if we don't have that many forests, you know, forests are not even the main source of our mana, as you will see later on. And another card from pretty much the same series, is just a little bit of a pity that it's an insect, not an elf. Is a Wirewood Symbiote, right? A pretty gross picture here, but what's cool about him is that it says it drinks fatigue, right? So just think about it. It's pretty cool flavor text, yeah? It drinks fatigue, so yeah, it gets the fatigue out of you, and it's a symbiote, right? It's not kind of a parasite, it's actually a good guy, you know. Thomas Bastas, he's really, you know, good at creating these scary things. But yeah, this creature is not dangerous at all. Yeah, you return an elf you control to owner's hand to untap target creature. Again, same thing can be done twice before you untap, and it does more than one thing, okay? It actually does more than 2 things. Okay, so number 1, it untaps a creature. So for example, to pump a creature to, for example, get this card drawing ability, or to get even more mana, with our Priest of Titania, for instance, which is over here. And you can also get an elf out of harm's way, right? So if somebody is targeting your elf with removal, you can actually use that. So yeah, again, the only problem is that this creature is an insect, so some of the synergies don't work, but again, it would have been too good. Just 1 mana, again, absolutely amazing. Next, we have got Taunting Elf, so only 1 copy. And look at him, pretty fun guy, right, with some meat, I suppose, right, being chased by a buffalo or something. And just 0/1, all creatures able to block him do so. So a lot of elves that are attacking will not be blocked by your opponent if Taunting Elf is attacking. Next, so how do we plan to get mana? We plan to get mana not only by using those Quirion Rangers, but also by using Priest of Titania. That adds 1 mana for each elf you control. And again, with all of these awesome untap abilities, you can get a ton of mana incredibly fast. Next, we have got, also for 2 mana, Wirewood Hivemaster. So Hivemaster says whenever another non-token elf comes into play, you may put a 1/1 green insect token into play. And it's nothing to sneeze at because it's a free token. And again, with this mana, for example, that we have, and with all of this stuff, we can also bounce elves, we can get them back into play, we can get insects. You will see how crazy it is. Next, a card that I was a little bit on the fence about because, you know, it's just like Goblin Ringleader. So every time you put this card into deck, it's a really, really big commitment to a specific creature type. And not just creature type, but also card type. So pretty much anything that is not an elf will be essentially wasted by this card. So, you know, I did play it back in the day when I had actually fewer non-elf cards, so we'll see how it works. I hope it's not too bad. But again, the point is that you choose a creature type. Of course, it will be an elf with the highest probability, reveal the top card. And if it is an elf, you put it into your hand. Otherwise, it's just wasted because there is no way in this deck to get the creatures out of the graveyard. So there it is. We'll see whether it's worth it or not. Next we have got Wirewood Herald. So Herald, as you can see, 1/1, and when he dies you can search for an elf card. So it's a kind of an interesting tutor. But as you will see, right, when this guy attacks and he is not blocked, for example, we can pump him with the Timberwatch Elf, and it's a kind of a lose-lose situation for your opponent. So yeah, if this guy is blocked, then you can either pump, or, you know, you can maybe block and he dies, so you get some powerful elf into play, or, you know, it's just something that you can pump with the elf maybe several times. So we'll see this in action. Again, this deck, if your opponent allows it to develop a little bit, can be incredibly scary. Next, we have got Collar of the Claw. So this elf can be played as an instant, and when it comes into play, you put two green bear creature tokens. So as you can see, elves are not just friends of, you know, trees and insects, but also of bears. So yes, you put a 2/2 green bear creature token into play. For each non-token creature put into graveyard from play this turn. Essentially, it works very well after a board wipe. For example, your opponent cast Pyroclasm or Wrath of God, and after that, you cast a Collar of the Claw. Actually, don't forget that you can use this ability. So Birchlaw Rangers, you can put mana into mana pool in response to your opponent casting a board wipe, and then you get this and you get a ton of bears. So maybe this will actually be enough to kill your opponent. Next we got a couple of higher end cards. Again, not going to be too difficult to cast them with a ton of mana that we're supposed to get. So this one, essentially same thing as the Ringleader, but sort of different because it's not a haste but a trample. Again, 4 cards, put elves into your hand, the rest on the bottom, your library in any order. I did not play that card back in the day, didn't think much of it. Then I got it from the dual decks, and yeah, I will give it a try. Also, it's nice that it has trample because it can be pumped by Timberwatch Elf, which we forgot to look at, but I mean, you already know what it does or figure it out. So target creature gets +X/+X, which X is the number of elves in play. So yeah, you can imagine that it can go pretty quickly. And again, with all of the untap abilities that we have, your opponent doesn't really know which creature you are going to pump until the very end. And also we have got Coat of Arms. Coat of Arms is an interesting card. This one is in French, but essentially what it says is that a creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures of the same creature type, I think, with the exception of this one. So yeah, essentially if there are 2 goblins, yeah, that's right. If there are 2 goblins in play, one of them each of them gains +2/+2, right? Yeah, not with the exception. Yeah, not with the exception of these guys. So yeah, if there are 2 elves, then each of them get +2/+2. That's the point. And this one, Yeah, a little bit slow, but again, 5 mana is not too difficult to do. And this one is, I know it's not a very good card, but it's just a very cool thing to use. So for 4 mana, and again, we're supposed to have a lot of mana here, and 4 mana and tap, discard your hand, draw a card for each creature you control. Again, discarding a hand is not something that will be very painful for this deck. It is supposed to get out all of the creatures on the battlefield pretty fast, and then you can draw, I don't know, 20 cards. How many creatures are you going to have? That's the question. So there it is, and now we're going to look at the Forge games. Elves against non-combo goblins, their sworn enemies, the very first, I believe, dual deck that was released. Goblins versus elves, elves versus goblins, yeah. Sounds about right. And yeah, let's see. Looks quite good as a starting hand. We've got a lot of fast mana. We also have got some fuel. Okay, so there is Lackey. There is Lackey. We are, of course, ready for that. So the question is, who is going to fight Lackey? Maybe Rangers. It's not that our opponent is going to attack. So there you go. Well, I mean, I don't really want to exchange Priest of Titania for Goblin Lackey, so I hope he doesn't attack. He doesn't. But there is Mob Fanatic, and he decided to burn the Rangers, not Priest of Titania for some reason. You know, the choices are really interesting in most cases. In most cases, I think it's just driven by some stats like mana cost or power and toughness. It's not that our opponent, you know, can read cards very well, to be honest with you. Okay, so yeah, we can start with Timberwatch. And no, we cannot have one more, can we? Yeah, we can. What am I talking about? We've got this glorious Lodge. So 3 mana now. There's one more Timberwatch. And this is actually very close to winning. That's turn 3 already, to be honest with you, so it's not super impressive. But of course, our opponent's goblins don't have this explosiveness. It's, you know, very, very far from that. Okay, so yeah, first we're going to do this. Get more elves. Okay, 3 elves, not bad. More elves. And now it's getting crazy. So, okay, first thing we are going to do is we will use the Ranger. Again, as I have told you, it's, you know, to do one thing at the cost of doing another thing. And also we get this forest, so it's even that we're getting more mana. So we get more mana for getting more mana. This is insane, right? This is too good sometimes, I think. Okay. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Now, okay, the question is, did we win? Did we win? Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elves. And it's silly. That's silly. Should have sequenced it in a completely different way. Also, of course, we shouldn't have tapped Priest of Titania for, you know, Virtual Rangers. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Okay, I don't think, again, it always puzzles me, because when you play on mobile, it's also Forge, but it's not exactly the same. And okay, we have Siege Gang Commander, but we don't care at all, especially because our opponent cannot sacrifice this stuff. Okay, now you will just see it in action, because we attack with everybody. We attack with our guys. Of course, well, we can even attack with Priest of Titania. Of course, we don't attack with these. Other than that, we attack. Okay, our opponent blocks. Wait. Now, that's interesting, because they have a lot of blockers. So, okay, perhaps I should have thought about it a little bit more. Look, is everybody blocked? Is everybody blocked or not? It's really hard to make it out. But okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, not everybody is blocked. I'm just trying to see who is not blocked. Okay, so yeah, this whole, you know, thing like spaghetti code. Yeah, okay, this one is blocked. This one is blocked. Yeah, okay. This one is not blocked. Makes sense because he has trample. Okay, so there we go. No, we won, of course. Of course we won. Of course we won. We untap. We tap again. We untap. We tap again. So that would be for how much? Can't really make it out here. I think it's 20 something. A little bit lazy to count. Okay, so yeah, coat of arms will be interesting, you know, in this match against another tribal deck. But I still think that we will get the best of this exchange because elves are small. Also, we have got some kind of a, you know, insect theme going on. So that's very interesting. Okay. So here is this guy. Here's Pile Driver. So slowly but surely we will start. Yeah, that's an insect, right? That's why it doesn't work. And here are just more insects for us. Okay. Right, okay, I absolutely must block this guy because otherwise he will destroy my coat of arms, killing himself in the process, but I don't want that at all. So, but the question is, what do we do? Or, you know, 2 mana, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, not 2 mana, but 2... Well, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, I can live with that. One more Pile Driver is getting scarier and scarier, so... Okay, here is the guy that saves us, actually. Yeah, the problem is that we don't have any mana dorks. We don't have any crazy mana. And the Timberwatch is not active just yet. But our opponent is still scared, you see. Okay. So yeah, now it started happening. Now it started happening. So we are going to win pretty soon. We have got 6 elves, right? So technically we can pump for 6, 12, 24. Okay, yeah, we can tap Timberwatch once and then untap him 3 times. Wait, actually 4 times. Yeah, so okay, we won the next game. Won the next game for sure. We have a ton of insects. Okay, and notice our opponent only has 2 mana. Okay, Bloodline Shaman, that's a weird choice. Ah, could have saved him with Symbiote. And okay, coat of arms it is. And okay, yep. That's fine, I guess. That's fine. Why did I do that? Wait, can we win now? Can we win now? We have 2 untaps, right? No, I don't think we can win. But okay, let's count. I don't like doing the math, especially, you know, when I'm recording the videos here. Yeah, okay, so let's imagine that all of these guys get blocked, of course, the elves, right? We have got these tokens, 7 of them to be exact. Okay, so that's 7 damage. Then we pump one of them, 5. So that would be 12. Then we untap twice, right? So that's 22. Yeah, okay, we won. Because, you know, I don't want to look like I'm too lazy to count, even though technically I am. Yeah, okay, this one doesn't require untapping. Yeah, okay, everybody is attacking except for Timberwatch. Okay, of course they block the elves, right? Well, and insects as well. Okay, so now we have to sequence everything very carefully. So, okay, there is one of the insects that gets pumped. +4/+4. Yeah, this one is not an elf. Okay, wait. Okay, I hope my math was correct. I just hope that my math was correct. Okay, so return an elf to untap. Okay, this will be the last thing we do. This one gets untapped. Return a forest. gets untapped. Pump an insect. Steal for 4. And then we untap target creature. So here it's important to understand, so the first creature that you select will be untapped, because here it says untap target creature. So we target, even though, if you look at the text, the first thing is written here, returning an elf, right? That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, so in any case, this is the creature, this is the cost, okay? Makes sense. Untap this and tap that. And we won. Okay, so not too bad, I think, right? Let's try playing against... this is a pretty interesting thing, because, I don't really play against this deck because it's pretty bad. I did showcase it as, my second deck. It was the very first deck I ever had here on this channel, Rebels. But actually, Rebels have a couple of tricks against this deck. So, to be honest with you, when I was playtesting, I probably lost against Rebels more often than I lost against Goblins, or even mono black aggro deck, and you will see why. Okay, we've got Color of the Claw, that's nice. All of these guys, that's all good. Okay, Elf. Okay, 4 it gets milled, but it's not that we care, right? Okay, untap, return forest, want to get more elves. And the lodge, okay, yeah, it's a little bit of a pity because you can mill the lodge, also you can mill these nice artifacts, but again, the elf is usually worth it. The elf is usually worth it, to be honest with you. Okay, so this is untapped, we return this. Can you give us at least one elf? Okay, here is the elf for us. Okay, so there's Crusade. And we have got Timberwatch now. I will cast Herald to try and get the Mana Dork. Well, Priest of Titania. Or should we go for... Should we go for another Timberwatch? Okay, let's speed things up a little bit. And by speeding things up, I mean that we get Priest of Titania, Shaman Revolutionary, which is a little bit tricky, to be honest with you. And oh my god, I'm so bad. What a terrible misplay. I didn't cast Priest of Titania. Okay. So we're getting attacked. Okay, we can do this, pseudo bounce. Yeah, I think we should do that. Okay, so here's how it works. We block. Then, well, I don't know actually when exactly we should do this. Like combat damage step here, or after no, I think after declare blockers is good. Okay, so yeah, we have declared blockers, and now since this guy is blocked, we can actually remove him out of harm's way. And okay, first we use this ability, we get Birchlore Rangers, which is good. And let's do it again. One more elf. And then we untap this and return this. Okay, so this creature is blocked, so we don't get any damage from Shaman Revolutionary. And we also tap this and get the Ranger. Defiant Falcon, Defiant Falcon. Okay. So we have to start winning. We have to start winning, because if we don't, we're in trouble. Okay. And okay, look, how many elves have we got? This is not an elf. Let's not make the same mistake twice. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elves, right? We have got 6 elves, so we have 3 blockers. So 3 damage to our opponent from the unblocked creatures. Well, actually 2 damage because we will not attack with Timberwatch. Okay, so 2 damage. Brings down to 17. And now we can actually untap him 4 times. I mean, tap him and untap him 4 times. So this would be 6, 12, 14 damage. And then for 5, right? Because this will be the last one, 19. Is my math right? But okay, just to be safe, first of all, why don't we play this guy? Okay, so now we definitely have enough. Now we definitely have enough. Attack with everything except for Timberwatch. Wait, this is silly. Because he will block all of them. But on the other hand, we will just wipe out the whole army, except for Commander Revolutionary. And you know, even after that we can lose. Even after that we can lose. And you know, if our opponent casts Worship, then we're in trouble, because there's nothing we can do. Okay, in any case, of course everybody is getting blocked. So we do it like this. We untap. Gets resolved. Pump this, untap, and pump this. Okay. No worship, right? Okay, no worship. So then we definitely won. Okay, there we go. We won. Of course, we untap. Pump, untap, pump, and untap, and pump. So again, more than enough. This was an overkill, of course. Okay, yeah, I started. Now, I've only got myself to blame. Because I started with no forest. But, you know, if you start with no forest, it usually comes back. So, yeah, that's good. Priest of Titania. What should I start with? What should I start with? I think I should start with Hivemaster. Or should I? Yeah, okay, let's start with Hivemaster. Everybody loves free tokens, you know. Everybody loves free tokens. Okay. So, you know, I like to think of these guys that they cost, you know, half a mana to cast. It's a very interesting thing. And it's not that they cost half a mana to cast, but also every elf that you cast essentially costs half a mana to cast. So that's quite funny, to be honest with you. Okay. So yeah, there we have the insect. Now what do? Now we cast Priest of Titania, get one more insect. And next turn, Okay, so yeah, there is worship, look, there is worship. The thing is, and that's a little bit cheating, to be honest with you. We can technically try to attack and our opponent will block. So our opponent is not really aware of worship. So kind of aware, but not exactly. So, you know, if there is, you know, cheap meat to be gotten by blocking our small guys, then I can assure you that our opponent will do that. But on the other hand, the problem is that this flyer has evasion, so he will not be sitting here and waiting for us to attack. So that's the problem, to be honest with you. And this cannot be resolved, you know. Maybe I have to have some kind of, you know, elvish, what was it, realist? Lyrist? I forgot. But yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad overall. You know, it's terrible. I actually lost. I actually lost. Okay, there's the second worship. Because yeah, there is nothing we can do. There is absolutely nothing we can do. Yeah, we can cast Coat of Arms. Okay, we attack with these absolutely huge elves, but it's still just 1 life. And also, okay, to add insult to injury, disenchant. But look, is he going to block? Is he going to block? Yay! What was that? Oh, he blocked the small guy. Okay. All right. All right. Still. Oh no, this is the worst. Okay, now we're 100% dead. Even with stupid AI. Even with stupid AI, there is nothing we can do. But you know what? I like to do this one little thing. I will show you. So, I will not, I will try to not give our opponent the pleasure of killing us, because instead we will deck ourselves. How? With Slate of Ancestry. With Slate of we will deck ourselves with Slate of Ancestry. Okay, so we get this token, we get this, we untap Priest of Titania. Oh yeah, of course this resolves. I mean, more creatures, right? So how many cards will we draw now? That's a good question. A ton, right? So we discard our hand to draw how many cards? 14 cards, right? It even looks weird because it's written, in words, not numbers. So yeah, 14 cards. And then let's go crazy. Wait, we only have one ranger. Yeah, that's a pity. We don't really have enough mana to do all of this cool stuff. Do we have one? No, wait. Okay. Here is the ranger. We will deck ourselves this turn. Can we do that? We have got 32 cards left. Now, I don't think we can get to 32 creatures because, look, we have the second Slate of Ancestry now. Whoa, this is like some, really fun, intricate puzzle. I just love this stuff. So, even though we technically lost, I think it's a win. Okay. So, wait. Do we have... No, wait. We still have more mana. Okay. One more. Okay. So, this one doesn't check creature type, so draw a card for each creature you control. And now, it's time to untap by bouncing Forest. And now we get 9 mana. Okay, we get 9 mana. For 9 mana, we get this guy, plus token. We get this. Okay, and tokens as well. 4 mana. But yeah, by now I just don't care. Because now we have the insects to untap. And okay, 2 more mana. It's awesome that these abilities of the Ranger and the Symbiote can be activated without tapping. This is insanely good. But again, it just proves that it's probably not enough for competitive Magic, right? So, I mean, modern elves are nothing like that. They don't use the synergy of elves because, yeah, in competitive environment, you would expect some board wipe, you would expect some, very fast stuff that is just blocking you, right? So, not blocking you, but, I mean, you cannot really do anything against them. Okay, so 12 mana. Okay. Can we deck ourselves already? Do we have 32 cards now? Just to be sure. Let's use Color of the Claw. So nobody has died this turn, so no bears. And we also use Sylvan Messenger, because this is also a way to deck ourselves. And of course, get more creatures. Hooray! So, now we untap this guy by returning the elf into hand. Tap for 17 mana. And I'm just trying to understand how many cards we can get. I think that's already enough. So let's cast Slate of Ancestry. Let's cast one more Messenger. There are only 2 messengers in the deck, so in any case, that's pretty much it. Okay. So how many cards are we going to draw? Anybody? Any quick guesses? I think 42. And we draw, oops, can we see the log? Can we see the log? Okay. Trying to draw empty cards from the library. Okay. 53 cards. Okay, we drew 53 cards. So, okay, we did lose, but did it with pride and honor, as they would say. And I think it was pretty spectacular, right? That was awesome, really. The largest number of creatures I've ever had on board. I think ever. I wouldn't even say, if we don't count some kind of like infinite stuff, that's probably the largest number. By the way, in case anybody wondered about this question, there was this like very interesting puzzle style thing, and I asked myself this question, and I actually was super happy to see that somebody also had this question on the internet. And the question is basically this: so what is the largest amount of damage that you can deal using Magic, standard 60 card deck? Okay, this was my very important question. So without any limitations, I mean, the usual banned and restricted list, maybe we don't even have to make it, restricted like Singleton, but with 60 cards, what is the largest amount of damage you can technically deal? And we don't, count infinite damage. So if we have like some kind of an infinite loop combo, this doesn't count. But just, by having 60 cards without any recursion, well, maybe with some recursion, but again, without infinity. Does this count as recursion? I don't know. Probably not. But without an infinite loop. And there was actually a super interesting blog post. I will actually link to it. I think it's still online. I saw it a long time ago. And there was somebody who was trying to solve this puzzle. They did it, however, with all of the card pool. I think it was in 2015 or a little bit earlier. I saw it in 2015. And, I'm not too much of a Johnny player. I mean, I absolutely love all of these combos and crazy stuff. I'm not that good at, designing such decks myself, but I'm super happy to see, how this stuff works. So, it would be very interesting to see the same thing for Premodern. I think it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing to try and recreate that, because they had, I don't remember, they had some, I don't know, to the power of, I'm even afraid to say, how much it was. So it's like Google, I guess, but probably more than Google, of course, amount of damage. But still, it was not infinite, with all of the layers. Definitely remember there was opalescence. So there were a lot of interesting things with layers and, animated enchantments, all of this stuff. It was insanely interesting. So I think, that this is an interesting thing to discuss, and maybe even a puzzle we can try to solve together if anybody is curious about such stuff. Okay, so meanwhile, getting back to our game, it's going pretty slow. And I think we can win now, can't we? Because we got 18. So okay, we play this. So we have got 6 elves in play. We can got 2 Timberwatches, and we can untap one of them once. So that's exactly how much we need, right? Well, not exactly, it's even more than that. Okay. So we pump, we untap, and pump again. And we won. Okay, so there you go. Elves are pretty powerful, as you understand. I hope you liked the second game of this match. So yeah, we did lose to Worship, actually. So this was, you know, a really interesting archetype that again got lost because it's not that you are going to see these Onslaught, essentially elves, in play. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more.